How to store ground coffee and coffee beans. Should it be kept in the fridge or can it stay at room temperature? Can it be frozen if you're not going to use it soon? Below are some tips to help preserve ground coffee and coffee beans and prevent them from spoiling too quickly. Tips for storing ground coffee and coffee beans. Whole or ground coffee in sealed packages can be stored at room temperature, in a cool, dry place, away from sunlight. When unopened, coffee can last up to a year at room temperature without losing flavor. After that time, it doesn't mean the coffee is spoiled, but it will have lost much of its original aroma and flavor. If the package of ground or whole coffee has been opened, close the original packaging and place it inside an airtight container. The original packaging helps prevent exposure to sunlight, and the airtight container prevents contact with air, which causes oxidation. Keep it stored at room temperature, in a dark and dry place. Once opened, ground coffee and coffee beans can retain their flavor for about 30 days, as long as they are properly sealed and stored. After this period, they aren't necessarily spoiled, but will have lost much of their natural flavor. That's why proper packaging and storage are important. Although the shelf life is the same, coffee beans retain their flavor more effectively. Ground coffee loses its aroma and flavor much faster because it has a larger surface area exposed to oxygen. It is not recommended to store coffee, whether opened or sealed, in the refrigerator, as coffee absorbs odors and moisture from the fridge. In fact, coffee is often used to eliminate bad smells from refrigerators. Can you store coffee in the freezer? Freezing ground or whole coffee is not recommended. Depending on your freezer, ice crystals may form inside the package, ruining the coffee. Also, freezing does not extend the shelf life, it still lasts about 30 days. If you decide to freeze it, place the coffee in an airtight container that is as well sealed as possible. This is important to prevent cold air from entering and causing freezer burn. When you use it, quickly remove only what you plan to use within a week, to avoid constant opening, and return the rest to the freezer immediately. If you leave it out for too long, condensation will form on the coffee, which leads to ice and ruins the flavor. Coffee stored in the freezer will last about 1 month. After that, it will begin to lose its flavor. How to tell if coffee has gone bad. Always check the appearance and smell. Coffee rarely spoils, but what usually happens is it loses all of its flavor and aroma. It can also develop mold. If you notice anything unusual, discard it, especially if mold is present, as it can be harmful to your health.